Boy, was this a tale of two shows or what. I'm John Renton with my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 31 Night 10 event. There was some really good stuff on the show that I will praise a little bit later on, but I almost didn't get a chance to see it because after the first two matches, I was frustrated to the point I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck Gato's booking. I'm shutting the show up. I'm not going to review or even watch the rest of the goddamn tournament. Take a complete break from New Japan until Wrestle Kingdom season. 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom. Now, Gato's done some good, but also he's doing a lot of questionable shit that's making me wonder how the fuck are they going to do 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom and actually make it palatable and not piss off some of their fan base? I mean, sure, you have to have heels and faces, have a dynamic and everything. You got to book things properly and build stories. But I think he's just throwing a bunch of shit at the wall to see what sticks. But then I realized patience needs to prevail. I put up with WWE and all the bullshit that they've done. And boy, they've done a lot of bullshit, but they also do some good. AEW has done a lot of good and also a lot of bullshit. NWA is also there. And New Japan has done dodgy shit before. And they've come back with some pretty damn good matches, like the main event is well worth sticking around for. So fuck it. Gato's not going to beat me. New Japan, you know, and all its weird dodginess and all this shit that's going on, they're not going to beat me. I'm locked in. I'm going to continue to review the month-long glorious Climax. We need all the lube, the fluids, and we're going to probably need a lot of booze. And I don't drink, so I got to do this shit sober. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this show in the comments, please. B Blocka Action. Thank you very much to a friend of mine. A Blocka, B Blocka. That's how I'm going to hear them. Can't be it out of my skull. Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton back on commentary. Chase Owens versus Tanahashi. Chase versus Ace. Okay. One praiseworthy thing on this match, or in this match. I did like the beautiful Bobby Eaton shirt, the tribute shirt that Chase Owens had. That was very nice. Beautiful Bobby Eaton, well respected, one of the most respected talents there, and his, as far as like in wrestling in general. I mean, I don't just say there, even though he you know, he's worldwide. His influence is known worldwide. Great tag team wrestler, solid worker, more than solid worker, stand-up guy, and just so he's so horribly missed. Absolutely tragic, but that was very nice. And then I knew that they were going to have Chase win, and I was hoping I was wrong. I was just hoping, I was like, please don't let this be a Tanahashi trap game, Trapahashi, if you will. But it was well wrestled, and it was what it was. But let me get this straight. So Chase wins. So let me just get this straight. Tanahashi can beat Tama Tonga, who probably should have gotten a victory over him if we're being perfectly honest, especially in comparison to Chase fucking Owens. You know, 18, wait, you didn't say 16, you said 18, allegedly Owens. Anyway, but you couldn't have Sonata beat him. He beat Sonata fucking clean, Tanahashi did, that is, and that's fine. You know, he's the IWGP US champion. But you think that giving Chase Owens a US title shot's a good idea? It already didn't fucking work back in 2019 when he beat Juice Robinson, when Juice Robinson was the US champion. And he beat him in the first round of the New Japan Cup and then lost in the finals in a match that really wasn't all that good. And Chase can work. Here's the thing. I find Chase to be the human equivalent of NyQuil. And given some of the stuff that's been said about him, alleged, you know, hopefully. But let's just say this. Let's put that to the fucking side. Let's just look at him as a wrestler. He's bland. He's boring. He's uninteresting. He doesn't cut a goddamn good promo at all. He barely cuts a goddamn promo. That doesn't make me want to just, you know, lay my head on the goddamn pillow. I find him boring. Have I mentioned how boring I find Chase Owens? That being said, he beat Tanahashi here, so, okay. You had the U.S. Championship flummox when Mox was a U.S. champion. And then, you know, he was a U.S. champion, and then he had to relinquish it. Lance Archer won it, and then lost it to Mox. And then the pandemic happened, so he didn't defend it for a while, even though he was a champion. Then he defended on New Japan Strong. Kenta didn't beat him. Nagata didn't beat him. I mean, not that we expected Nagata to beat him. The whole point is defending all this. And then he lost it to Lance Archer, who then turned around and lost it to Tanahashi. So, okay, you're telling me that the best way you can use Tanahashi, who clearly is not what he once was, it's not even what he was a few years ago, because his knees are shot. He's carried New Japan on his back for many, many years, didn't take the time off for necessary surgeries, and even when he took the time off for surgeries, he'd come back really soon. Think about what Minoru Suzuki did to him at New Beginning in Sapporo 2018. Wrenched his knee because he needed time off, and he was back within, what, weeks? Weeks! And then he was just doing his usual stuff and everything, and he having a killer match against Okada at Wrestling Dontaku, as you would expect. The whole point of this is, I think it was Dontaku 2019. The whole point is, Tanahashi is the U.S. champion. You can find better people for him to face. Tama Tonga getting a shot, that would have been fine. But Chase fucking Owens, yeah, Gato, if this is who you're hitching your wagon to, hoping that this will help with the Western expansion and maybe more Western eyes will come, they'll be like, hey, who the fuck's this goddamn idiot or whatever? And oh, let's read up about Chase Owens. Oh, Chase 18. I hope he didn't say 16 Owens. Anyway, so yeah, Chase Owens gets his first 2 points over the Ace. Thanks for coming, Tanahashi. And then Tama Tonga with Jado versus Evil with Dick. Okay, all I have to fucking say is this. First off, the match was fine, actually, for a while. Hey, they weren't doing that much interference. Sure, Dick was repeatedly inserting himself as far as removing the turnbuckle pad. But then, who out heals who? We get the exposed buckle spot. Tama fires up, gets a scorpion on Evil. There's less interference than usual is what I wrote down. And then, he did the lights out thing. Because, why the fuck wouldn't you? Why the fuck wouldn't you do that after it looked like you might have something good going? Let's do the lights out. Oh, the lights are out and everything. Apparently Cork and Hall never pays their goddamn electrical bill. Where the fuck owns that place? And then Tana's being choked from behind in the dark and everything. And then Jado attacks Dick. And then everything is evil. 1, 2, 3. Show, turn the lights out. Let me just say right now, fuck Bullet Club, fuck the House of Torture, fuck everybody except the Guerrillas of Destiny, Kenta. Fuck it. Fuck Show even. Show's fucking done. This whole Bullet Club, House of Torture bullshit thing. How are you supposed to trust your goddamn stablemates? Yes, they cheat and everything. It's G1. You're supposed to do everything you can to win, but what the fuck? Faction warfare. It's not good. And Tama Tonga is good, and Evil used to be good. And now his matches are formulaic. And the lights out bullshit was fucking done. This is the point where I said, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck Gato. Fuck his goddamn, inability to bump because he bumped his goddamn ass off. Fuck the fact that he's run into a goddamn wall and he continues to run into it like a goddamn Persian with a lobotomy and everything. And I had a Persian with a lobotomy, and that's all she did was run into the goddamn door. Cats are great, though. Anyway, adopt, don't shop. Moving on from that. Jeff Cobb versus Tai Chi with Miho. And anytime Miho is pounding the mat, you definitely want to pay attention, because when Miho pounds, we want to watch. I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but you know what? Fuck it. I like Tai Chi when he's motivated. I love Jeff Cobb, and this is good stuff. Cobb was just making it look easy. Tai Chi was having to chop him down, everything with some kicks and stuff like that. Cobb targeted the back because Tai Chi's had a bad back before. And Tai Chi with kicks, strikes, and everything. And there go the pants. And then he did the throat hold and everything, trying to counter the Tour of the Islands. Well, that's one way to do it. Kicks and more kicks and everything. And he got the Axe Bomber out of nowhere. But then he couldn't do Black Mephisto because of his back. And we got German snap. And then Tour of the Islands, 1, 2, 3. Jeff Cobb moving on with 2 more points. Now, yes, he should have beaten Tai Chi. This at least picked it up a little bit. But I'm like, okay, you still need to try to redeem yourself, Gato. Or at least the wrestlers need to try to redeem this goddamn show. And then we get Yoshihashi versus Goto. Oh boy, great. Yoshihashi's good, he's boring. Goto is great. Goto's fantastic. He will never be champion, besides the never openweight 6-man champion. He will never be a singles champion again. I just can't see it. They did some good stuff, but this was well worked. There was some instant fisting action, which is always what you want to see between two Japanese guys. I know I do. Moving on. And the crowd was into it. There were some good strikes and everything. Yoshihashi was firing up, but got hit with the GTW, and then eventually got hit with the GTR 1, 2, 3. And now we go to Sonata versus Okada. The time limit was going to be a factor because if I recall correctly, the previous one that went almost time limit was 29 minutes, 43 seconds, 48 seconds, something like that. It was close. It was really close because Sonata, like right at the 30-second call, right after that, Sonata hit the moonsault 1, 2, 3. Now, obviously, it started slow as you would expect. Okada just making it look easy. When Sonata isn't just coasting, I love Sonata. And Sonata is just that much of a natural athlete. If you just be a little bit more fired up. Yes, I know he's a cold skull and everything he's supposed to do, but if you just show a little bit of fire, he would actually, be further along as far as his New Japan run. He hurt his knee, and Okada targeted it, just zeroed in. We get shades of the old Okada. Rainmaker, but also the heel Rainmaker. Money clip, but to the ropes. Diving elbow, we get a Rainmaker pose. 7 minutes left. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here, the titty-gritty. Skull end, and then he rolls through off the moonsault, but hurts his knee again. He just can't quite get that knee to work. Skull end and scissoring. Who doesn't love scissoring from behind between two Japanese men or women? I don't judge much. Moonsault, but He hurt his knee and everything. Couldn't quite get there, but he gets there just in time for a 2 count. Spinning tombstone by Okada. 3 minutes left. Boom, boom, boom. The crowd's into it. They're going full bore. Roll up for 2. 2 minutes left. Skull in. 1 minute left. And then Sonata can't. He just can't pull the trigger. Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3. Okada gets the victory. So okay, great main event and a couple other decent matches as far as the undercard. But boy, that fucking goddamn that pair of matches and everything, and nothing even against Tama Tonga, nothing against Tanahashi, plenty against Chase because he's a fucking weirdo and evil because he just can't keep his dick in check. And man, I hate when I can't keep my dick in check. I try slapping it around, talking dirty to it. That only makes it worse. Let's go to the point totals rather for B block up. So Hiroshi Tanahashi with 6, Okada with 10, Yoshihashi and Goto with 2, Sonata and Taichi with 4, Evil with 8, Jeff Cobb with 10, Tama Tonga and Chase Owens with 10. Or 2, rather. Imagine if they had 10. That'd be fucking ridiculous. Point total wouldn't make sense. They have 2 points each. Anyway, as far as the upcoming set of reviews, I will try to do individual ones, but if I run into a snafu and I have a lot of work to do, I may have to pair some up. I might even have to just do a triple play sometime on Friday. It's either Thursday or Friday. Let me see. Let me take a look over my calendar. It would be Saturday. So it would be Saturday afternoon that I would do that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.